Billy?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Long time no see.
I know. We've had craziness. I was a bachelor for almost 2.5 months. My wife's that's more than you care to know. Everything's good, but my wife's father passed away, and so she had gone to Arkansas,
Um,
help with the family and stuff. And so we've been, my son and I have been here, and she's home now, so it's been good. But holy cow, man, I was a bachelor, so it was funny. I was making a bunch of calls, but I was watching more testosterone heavy shows at night on Netflix and stuff. Jack Reacher kind of things, because I'm like, just with explosions and car chases that she doesn't want to watch. This is
yeah,
my chance to do it. So, but it also meant, we had so much going on. So it's crazy. But how you been, brother?
pretty good. I'm gonna
Good.
go ahead. It's top of the hour. I'm gonna start letting everybody in.
Perfect.
But yeah, I've been doing well. Still in Gulf Shore, staying a little later than normal um,
Gotcha.
this
When you head
year.
back?
Um, Not until the last part of May, probably
Okay.
the third week, something like that.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good morning, Bjorn. Good morning, Zach. How's
Morning,
everybody
everybody.
doing?
Good,
Hello,
good. How you
hello.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Morning.
Doing all right.
There's Jeffrey.
Hello.
We
Just
started
finished up.
without you, man.
I know.
Don't you
Like,
love
I gotta
it?
go. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Jeff's like, I got 7 Zooms today, 12 phone calls.
I'm telling you, it was a strategy call. It was a good one. So anyway,
Good.
but yeah. So how's everybody doing?
Good.
It's
Good.
quiet in here today.
All right.
It
Did the text go out today, or did we? Oh no, it did go out today. Okay.
went out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I got one. We'll see more and more come in here as we go. So
Here
anyway,
comes
Back at some, I
Jennifer
need
and
to know more
Elin.
about Kids Deserve Dads uh, organization thing. Love that.
Yeah, it's my nonprofit I started after going through family court,
Love it.
and so I fight for changing laws. I do shared parenting laws. I've written a couple bills in South Dakota and Wyoming, and worked with some groups in Mississippi and South Carolina to get some passed. So Mississippi got theirs passed this year, and
Love
yeah, so hopefully all 50 states and a lot more than just shared parenting necessarily, but that's the big thing. So
Gotcha. Very cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
I left real estate in 2019 after 15 years to go to law school and work on this nonprofit to help make it be more impactful. So now I'm back to do both. It doesn't pay very much to run a nonprofit like that, especially. So unfortunately.
Because he wasn't busy enough as a realtor, he had to find another demanding job, right?
Yeah, yeah, law school and then actually they made me quit being a realtor to go to law school, but then nonprofit, getting a lot of work for little money. A glutton I am. So but I'm excited to be part of this group, man. I own my own company, and I'll tell you what, just what I've had so far with EXP and this freedom team, I'm just been so uh, impressed and excited about what's possible with being part of this group. So I really appreciate you guys doing all the stuff you guys do to make this happen. So
Thank you for that. We appreciate that.
Caleb's back 2 days in a row. Caleb Leonard.
No, not Caleb.
Stranger
The
things.
worst.
And there's Jennifer. How many more you got under contract, Jennifer? What are you up to? Like 8 now, 9, 10?
Actually, it's funny. I had 8 open houses this last weekend, and I just signed one of them to buyer's agency yesterday, and I'm working on 2 more appointments on 2 others.
Good for you. There you go. It's working. I got a $1.1 million buyer yesterday for my new
Wow.
construction funnel.
Nice.
So, and he has a home to sell, of course. So he wants to buy first and then sell after he gets moved. So Anyway,
Hey,
we'll
I
see what
wrote
happens.
2.1 million on last weekend.
Did you? Yeah. Good. David, good to see you, man. Thanks for
Hey,
popping
good
in.
morning.
So, David, just so you guys know, everybody, David's out in California. Just got licensed. He's working on getting his license from California. They have their processes out there. It's California. Keep telling David you're going to have to move out of California at some point. And just get out of there. Run for your life. No. But no, excited to have you on board here. Thanks for popping in. You'll be jumping in here soon. So as soon as he gets his license. Shares here.
We
Good
need him in
morning.
California, right?
What's that?
We need him in California so we have somebody to refer to.
It's true. We've had several here lately in California. In fact, and I forget, David, where are you at? You're in Bakersfield?
Yeah, Bakersfield, Kern County.
Okay. Got another guy. I'll have to connect you guys. There's another guy, Mark Zavala. He just joined Bakersfield. And then there's another guy, Fernando Rocha. I think he's also in Bakersfield. So anyway, I'll connect you guys up. Be good for you guys to get together. So. Who's got something? Who's got something we need to talk about? Who needs help? Tim, what can I help you with?
You can come to Louisville and help my team with their new construction funnel.
Yeah. Are they still having the issues as far as conversion?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. I truly don't think it's them because I mean they're seasoned. They're used to making 150,000 a year. I don't get it. So
Right.
got to switch some things up.
Yeah. Maybe just, I don't know. I'm getting lots of replies in my automation, which has been good. But and reaching, again, we're making calls. We're trying to get a hold of them. And then just the ones that you talk to. My wife was out yesterday. Lane was out yesterday showing homes. They looked at 9 homes yesterday. This couple that's moving here, they're moving back here from Arizona. That was a lead that came in last Thursday from it. And I try and answer the call if it comes through, if I'm free to do it. It doesn't happen often, but she answered when I went through. And we had a 15-minute conversation, and great conversation. They're moving back here from Arizona to get closer to their kids and grandkids. And Lane was out yesterday showing homes and signed the buyer agency. And husband comes in this weekend, and she thinks they really liked one of the new construction models that we took them to. So hoping to be under contract this weekend. We'll see.
Cool. What's new construction buyer brokerage commission in your area? What incentives are they offering agents?
Well, that one there, it's Meritage Homes. I think they're doing right now. They're just doing it's 20,000 on any home is the commission. So, and like this one here it's listed at like 460. So whatever, I don't know, take it almost 5%, close to it.
Yep.
So yeah, they're all doing different things. But Caleb, have you ever sold a Meritage home?
I haven't.
No.
I've looked at them, but I have not sold a Meritage. I haven't closed. I'm closing on a Richmond American.
Okay.
It's supposed to be tomorrow. We might push to Monday, but
Okay.
yeah. So I've done a number of places. I've shown Meritage, but I have not closed one.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. No, they're good to work with. So
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if you guys get under contract on. So you said you're under contract on the Meritage, or you're just looking at it?
not right now. They're going to look again this weekend. I think
Okay.
when the husband comes here. But Lane's sold, I don't know, half a dozen of them probably.
Okay.
They've
Yeah.
been great to work with. She got
Yeah,
in
Tim, if you have
because
questions about new construction, you might want to talk to Lane. She's probably more helpful.
yeah, she knows what she's doing. She's good. No, she actually, because she did enough deals with them, they actually made her a preferred realtor, like on their website, and they gave us a listing that they had. This one of their, because they build them out and then they sell them. They don't do them from the ground up with people. They actually just build it and you buy it like kind of as is. And so anyway, they gave us one of their listings to do, and gave us 5%, got it sold. So that was good.
Andy and I had a really good discussion with one of the agents on our YouTube training coaching call yesterday. And the topic was buyer brokerage agreements for new construction. I think it'd be a cool topic that most people could probably benefit from if we talked about that. You know, what do you do a 3% agreement up front, and then do you change that agreement to a 5% if you start showing new construction? Just exactly what are the logistical steps that you are practicing in that scenario? Anybody's in that scenario, I'd love to hear your feedback and just see how it compares to our discussion yesterday.
I think what Lane has done with that is we have that conversation up front. Just we do the buyer agency, we do the 3%, whatever, but then we have that conversation, are you guys considering it all new construction? And some just aren't. Some are like, no, we have no interest. I mean, whatever, but some like, oh yeah, no, if there's one that we find, whatever. So they will, a lot of the builders will have different things. She just explains it to them. And then, would you be open to doing an amended agreement if we do that? Oh, of course. And we've never had anybody say, well, no, we're not going to do that, So I think I don't know if she does an amendment or just does a whole new agreement. But it's not been an issue for us at all as far as with our brokers or anything like that.
I don't think you can do an amendment.
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. It seems like that's what she's done here. I think just did an amendment but I could be wrong. It might just be did a whole new buyer agency.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't think you're supposed to do an amendment. You should do a whole new one, but you have to be careful with the new construction because they'll sometimes ask for the actual listing agreement to see if it was signed prior to you showing them. So I have heard of some of the Colorado builders doing that. So I often have that conversation up front and put the kind of the highest that I know of, whether it's 4 or 5% or flat fee or whatever. I'll put that in and just have that conversation about, I'm not gonna, if it's less, then we'll just, I'll take less. But that's one where we just have to have the conversation because they usually get concerned, like, well, are you going to make me? And no, so that's more of like, I can negotiate down. I can't negotiate up.
Yeah. Would you put it there like an up to 5%?
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Okay.
You just have to put the highest amount because you can move down from it, but you can't move up, and you can't put any kind of language in it like that.
Yeah. I know Lane's got that. Again, Lane's been doing it all. Lane's got it figured out with him. I mean, between her and the brokers, she's been fine with it, but I'm not sure exactly what she does. She's got me out there now showing homes because we've gotten so busy.
I can tell you that if I'm, especially in this area, because they change, more than I change pants, but they change the way they're doing things so often and so drastic, so the highest I've seen is them paying as much as 5% commission to the buyer broker and a $7,500 bonus, which I've just seen here recently. So what I have been doing, if I'm going to show new construction, is, and I'm telling my buyer's agents to do the same thing, is basically we're getting a BBA signed saying 6% commission and $10,000 bonus, and spelling it out. And then that way, like Caleb said, you can always come down,
Right.
So if you walk in there and they say, we're only paying 4% commission and a $6,500 bonus, you're still covered, so, the only time it's going to bite you is if you get in there and they go, oh, we changed that yesterday where we're paying a $15,000 bonus. And you go, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Well, guess what? You can't get it. I mean, you can get the 10, you can't get the 15. So,
Yeah, somehow I don't think that the new builders are too concerned for your sake, Andy.
No.
Yeah.
But it does make it, I mean, it's one of those things where you have so many different people deciding things all across the board, whether it's the courts or, whatever. So it's like, it's all over the place.
Yep.
Does anybody know if it's legal to have two simultaneous BBAs, one for new construction and one for a normal resale?
We've been told, yes, that you can have two in place. I don't know if I don't. I'm not aware if that differs by state, but we've been told by our broker that we could do that.
I should go into my stateroom right now and ask that. Out of curiosity.
Up here in Washington, I was told that you had to go, you couldn't go up, you had to go down. And on the form up here, there's not a way to put and a $15,000 bonus. Not that it matters because nobody up here is paying that much. So
Yeah.
we're lucky that, we're lucky to get 2%. And then one of the builders just raised to 2.5 and then 3 on some of their properties. And some of the others are starting to follow suit. So
You're in Washington State?
yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all just passed a law that goes into effect in June that you're required to basically put your listing out to all places and every agent across the board, regardless of, so no
Yep.
exclusivity.
Yep.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
immediately.
I think every state's probably going to follow in that direction. I got a
should.
good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's in the seller's best interest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally.
Share, what do you
Unless you're
mean
Compass.
Texas BBA covers both?
Well, y'all earlier were talking about the buyer's representation covering for new construction as well as typical residential homes that
Resale,
aren't
yeah.
construction. But our buyer's representation here in Texas covers new construction as well as just 1 to 4 residential homes.
So what do you do when new construction offers 6% commission and you're only charging 3% on a resale home?
You amend it. There is an amendment.
They do allow an amendment in Texas.
Yes.
Okay. So it probably is going to be state specific, I'm guessing.
I would assume so.
I write mine all at 3% and explain to my clients that, if we find something that only pays 2, we'll figure it out. We'll negotiate it down to, to accept what they offer or.
So when your client says, I want to go see this new construction home and that developer pays 4, what do you do?
Well, there isn't one up here that pays 4. 2% is pretty much the standard, except for the one that I sit for that just raised it to 2.5 or 3, depending on the listing.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I haven't found one that does 4.
What would you do? I'm looking for the conversation to give everybody on the call talking points on how to talk to your buyer about it.
That I don't know yet. I haven't run into that issue. So,
because what Amy and I, go ahead. I'm sorry.
In South Dakota, we actually have a line on our MLS purchase contracts that state that we're not allowed to collect any additional compensation other than stated in the, or not, sorry, it's not the purchase contract, in the exclusive contract to represent buyer. There's a spot in there that says we're not allowed to collect any additional compensation unless approved by the buyer. And they initial that section, and we do have an amendment form that in the event it pays 5% or it has a $5,000 bonus or a $10,000 bonus, the client has to sign off that we're getting anything in additional to that 3% that's written into the buyer's agency representation. So that's what we have in our local raise in South Dakota.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like it protects you if you are showing them a resale property and then they say, well, let's go check out this new construction. And then that happens to you. So yeah, cool.
Yep. So they just have to approve of that. And like our stances will typically split that or offer it up to the buyer that, hey, we got this. So it just really varies on the client. But again, like Dalen, it's not a common thing that happens in our area either.
Gotcha. It's real common around here. There's, around where I'm at, 5%, 6% buyer's commission is nothing. I mean, that's common. And then plus they'll give bonuses on top of that a lot of times.
Well, hopefully that happens up here because all of the builders are getting a lot of inventory right now. They weren't selling a whole bunch. I mean, that's why the builder that I sit for raised they cut prices by 40 grand and raised the buyer broker commission to 2.5 to 3.
I haven't personally run into it, and I'm not sure if anybody on my team has or not, but the conversation we had yesterday went something like this, and I'm sure I'll butcher this, so bear with me. But basically, the conversation with the buyer when you first have it is listen, the laws have changed as of a couple of years ago. We're now required to spell out compensation. My fee for services is 3%. If for and that's you have to pay 3% instead of the seller paying on both sides. However, local custom is that I'm finding the sellers are still willing to pay it. I will do everything in my power when we write an offer to make sure the seller pays 3%. And if for some reason they will only pay 2.5%, you and I'll sit down and we'll have another conversation on whether you can come up with the other half, or if I haven't done so much work that I could afford to maybe discount it a half, but we'll figure it out. I'm not going to stand in the way of you getting a deal done with the house you love. And another thing we're seeing is if you want to look at new construction, number one, I'd like to know that now so we can go ahead and include what they offer, because new construction offers a higher fee typically, and sometimes a higher fee and or additional incentives. So in that scenario, builders won't typically discount. So it's not like, well, just take less and let me have the benefit of that. We will be doing extra work in that scenario because as your buyer's agent on a new construction, I'm going to go visit the property regularly with you. We're going to talk about the quality of workmanship. And, there's a lot of site visits involved in that scenario. I'll work more for the higher fee, but they may offer 4% or 3.5% or 3% plus a $15,000 bonus. I'm seeing all kinds of things. So if we do that, when we get to that point, I will present you another buyer brokerage agreement for that scenario, but we won't worry about that for now. We'll just go with the standard 3% like I normally do and so forth. If there's more work involved, we'll do it completely separate. So that's kind of the conversation in my mind that I would have in that scenario. And that's kind of what I was looking for. If anybody do anything different, agrees with that, disagrees with that, I know state by state it could be a little different on what we're allowed to do, but EXP is pretty specific on what they want us to do. And then, of course, state will override it if there's a law to the contrary.
Good verbiage. All that was good. I think the one thing we've done over the years, whenever there's, and again, if there's a 0.5% or 1% hit on our commission, we'll always ask, the buyer, like, hey, here's the deal, whatever. And I do the same thing. I'm not going to let this get in the way of you getting this house at all. Like if this is the house that you love, like we're going to fight to get you into this house. I said, if they can't come up with the money or whatever, and then a lot of times, sometimes they can, a lot of times they can't. I'll just do this. Look, I'll take the hit. We would normally get 3%. We'll take 2%. Would you do this? After closing, could we get just something, could you maybe over the next 6 months send us 3 just really good, solid referrals of any kind? Just keep it in mind, like, oh yeah, no, you've been great to work with. Oh, we absolutely will, whatever. And then a lot of times I will, this doesn't mean anything, but I'll get it in writing. Just a couple sentences, whatever, that, because of the 1%, drop in our commission fee, whatever, Joe and Sue Smith agree to send Jeff Morrell 3, buyer and or seller referrals over the next 6 months, and we all sign it, and it's like just that. Something like it just gives a little weight to it, and we've picked up multiple referrals over the years from that. Like I'd rather take the 2% on the deal and get 2 more deals out of it.
Right.
I'll do that all day long. So we've done that many, over the years as well. Just, and they're happy to do it. You know, when they see all, and again, when they see all the stuff you're doing, I think it's so important for us to just really be demonstrating our value. Show them what you're doing. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that they never see and they don't know. I mean, we've all been there. If you've been in this business a while, I mean, how many late nights on the computer and all these kind of things, just you're doing everything you can, talking to the lender, talking to this person, the inspector, that just all this stuff to keep that deal moving forward. And I think it's important to communicate that to your clients so they understand why you are really working hard for us, you know, because when they see all that, it's just the cost is a factor in the absence of value. When you're showing them what you went through to get to that closing, they're like, you're the hero, you know, and they do want to refer people to you, and they are going to give you a 5-star review and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just, you are going to become their realtor for life in that sense, you know, just, we see that kind of stuff, but most of the time we get to closing, they just think we just dance to closing.
Right.
No idea what goes on because we don't communicate it. So
I've found too that when you're negotiating the contract and you write a contract for a buyer and you said, you know, seller to pay buyer brokerage commission of 3%, and it starts being negotiated back and forth, the seller counters with, we're only going to pay 2.5%. The buyer then sees, well, we could increase the price by that to cover that extra 0.5% and get the seller to pay it. More than likely, it's going to net them the same amount of money. They get that. And I even tell them, you know, as an option, this is one of those scenarios I told you about. They're only willing to pay 2.5% towards your buyer brokerage commitment to me. And in this scenario, you know, we got several options. You know, I can eat it. We can ask the seller to pay 3 one more time and bump the price just a little bit to include it. That way you're not actually coming out of pocket with it as a closing cost, and just see how it works out. And it almost always works out where the seller will pay what we need to accommodate their contractual agreement with us.
yeah.
So just make sure that's clear. Make sure you talk about all the options on how to solve this 0.5% difference when that happens. And, you know, some people are going to dig their heels in and say, no, you said you'd take less. And yeah, no problem. I mean, that's one of the options. Just,
Yeah, for sure. So, Frank, is that Frank Capasso?
That's me.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Good. Did I have my thing on and I shouldn't?
No, you're good. You're good. I just didn't know if that was you. I just wanted to say hello. It's good to see you here. So Frank's new, everybody. Frank is in Illinois, just joined us here like in the last week or so. So anyway, I don't know if you can turn on your camera. You might be driving or something. No big deal.
I am driving. I just got out of a meeting that lasted longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah, I hear you. But we're getting Frank set up. Frank's hungry for deals. We're gonna get him going here. So
yep.
Out to God's ear, sir.
So it's good to have you here, man.
Cheryl Johnson is in the room. Hey, Cheryl. Cheryl's in Louisville, Kentucky with me.
Good
although
morning.
I'm still in Gulf Shores. How are you doing, girl?
Great. Just
good.
Getting things more together, and just wanted to check in.
Well, it's good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Do you have any questions or anything you want to share with the group?
I was trying to find out on the YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that it was Andy Hollis had some old videos or something. Is that a good starting point to check with those? I've been doing
what are you looking for? Andy's actually on the Zoom with us too.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just trying to be more consistent. That's what I'm working on. Just being more consistent.
In video production?
Yeah, just posting my videos to get my YouTube really going. The problem I have is I have 2 different YouTube channels, which is why I've been kind of frustrated. One has my old address when I was with a different firm, and then the other one has the old EXP address. And so I was heard that if you change your addresses, that Google can hold it against you. I was just wondering about what to do about that, because one has the wrong company name. Do I need to start a new YouTube channel, or what do I need to do?
When you say change your address, you mean change the name of the channel?
Well, it has me. I used to be with KW. So the oldest, I've got one that's about 15 years old, 16 years old, but it has a KW info. And then I have another one with EXP, but it has EXP, but it's the wrong address. We have a different address now.
Do you have the
So does
address
that,
of Stephanie's original office and now it's
yeah,
Elizabeth's? Is that where you're? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I would
So
think that's an easy, just change it. Andy, are you aware of any penalty? I mean, that could be a hurdle to jump when it comes to your Google business page, but a YouTube channel, I don't think it would matter.
yeah.
No, it don't matter.
Get
I
rid of the
mean,
KW channel completely, or and maybe before you do, you repost some of the videos you had or something. I don't know. I'd defer to Andy's opinion on that, but I just go in and change it. I mean, you got to do that anyway, just to be legal.
Yeah, but I've read where some people have lost their account. So, like I said, I was gonna do the Google Business. They say to put videos on there too. So I wanted to do it simultaneously. So I was just concerned about that.
yeah, well, what you're talking about is two different aspects. Google Business is a whole different entity than just your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel is, you want to make it searchable. That's what the whole gist of it is. So just doing videos just to be putting videos out there is really not accomplishing anything. If the videos are not pointing people in a direction that you want them to go. Like you want to become a local expert, basically. And it doesn't really matter who you work for at that point. But EXP is pretty clear on their instructions as far as advertising goes, that you need to let people know that you're not only a realtor, but you're a realtor for EXP. So I think you probably need to change it in that aspect, like Tim said, as far as whether you delete one channel, rename it, or whatever. I mean, I would just have one existing channel and just have it going in the same direction. You just don't want your YouTube channel going here and there and there and there, because YouTube won't be able to figure out who to put your videos in front of. Most people think that YouTube is like, it is a search engine, but most people think, well, that people go into YouTube and basically do a search and that's how they find the videos. But basically what YouTube does is YouTube finds you. So they discover what you're interested in, and then they start putting those videos in front of you, and they consider you part of like a test audience. So in other words, let's say that you did a video that said what you're in Lexington, Kentucky, is
He's
that
in
right?
Louisville.
Louisville. Okay, so let's say that you did a video that said, what can you buy in Louisville for $500,000? Well, then, so that video is telling YouTube that anybody interested in a house in Louisville under $500,000, they need to put this video in front of. So they're going to test it against that audience. Well, then if you came in next week and you said, I'm going to show my clients how to bake my favorite bundt cake. And so then you do a video saying, hey, here's my favorite blueberry bundt cake, and here's how I make it. And then you put that video on there. Now YouTube's confused, and they say, well, is this channel about real estate or is it about cooking? Is it so then they don't know who to put your videos in front of. And that's what destroys your channel. It's not whether you change your address or not, so if that helps you.
Yeah, that does. I have one more question.
Yeah.
I was like going to do home tours, but I was also wondering about like I did one just to try it out. I did like a 1 minute reel to show a house that we sold in an area Tim knows, J-Town, of what you could do there, and it got about 800, not on YouTube, but anyway, I got a good response. So I was wondering about doing that on YouTube. Would that have to be like a separate channel, or that would just be a focus? I know you talk about evergreen, so I'm just trying to figure out getting a game plan together.
No, we do. I mean, you can do shorts on your channel. I don't do them on mine, just because I want a different audience. We used to do shorts, but the whole reason we got away from it is because people who watch short videos have a short attention span, and we were getting the wrong audience. Like, I'll give you, for instance, when I was putting shorts on the channel, the majority of my audience was male. I had probably 85% male viewers, and 70% of the viewers that were watching from their mobile phone. So that just told me they're like a younger audience. They were probably ages 25 to 30, or 18 to 30 is the audience that I was attracting. Those people can't buy houses. I mean, they can, but they're going to be first time buyers, which I wasn't going after. So I had to figure out who's my target audience. Who am I trying to really go after? So I want the retired. We live at the beach, so I'm not a relocation area. I'm somebody, what I'm looking for is the 45-year-old to 75-year-old who wants to move here and maybe live here part-time in a condo, and then the rest of the year they want a return on their investment. So they want to rent the condo out. So I'm looking for investors. I'm looking for second home buyers, that kind of thing. So I had to eliminate the shorts, do longer videos. I want to capture that audience who is sitting on their couch on a Sunday afternoon and watching after church and watching my videos from their couch. And that's exactly what we have now. It took me a while to get there, but now we have, I think 82% of our audience watch our videos from the couch. So they watch it from their TV. And I'm hitting that demographic. It's a good mixture of men and women, but they're in that 45-year-old to 75-year-old range. And these are the people that can buy houses here. So the condos here, average condo is probably 750 grand. These people have expendable cash. That's who I want. I want them. And I didn't really care about the views. When you're doing that, you're not going to get a video that goes viral and gets 20,000 views in the first weekend. But what you are going to get is over a long period of time, say a year, that video might get 1,500 or 2,000 views over a year's time, but it was the right 2,000 people that watched it. So that's what I cared about. And then that phone's been ringing. I mean, we've sold close to $7 million since the first of the year, just since January, strictly off the YouTube channel. So that's you got to figure out who your niche is and how to best get after them. So if you're going after the young buyer, the first time home buyer with the short attention span, then yeah, do the shorts, include it all, be all over Facebook and have Facebook point them back to the YouTube channel, all the things. But you got to just figure out who you're going after.
I'd like to add to that too, Cheryl. It's okay to do shorts, but not on YouTube is what basically we teach. Do your shorts on Instagram and Facebook, and do long form videos on YouTube. The other thing you get with a long form video that you can't get with a short is you can't build trust. You can't get your prospects to know, like, and trust you in a 60-second short, but you can in an 8, 10, 12, 20, 30-minute long form video. So back to what you originally said, I would go back to that house, shoot an entire tour, take as long as it takes. And in our training, we teach you exactly what to say in the intro and the outro, because you've got to tell your viewer what the video is about, but you're also telling YouTube's algorithm what the video is about. And that's the first way they learn who to potentially put this in front of. The other way they learn is, oh my gosh, 600 people watched this video and the demographic of that viewer was this. So now YouTube puts your video in front of other people that you don't know yet with that same demographic. And that's how that organic traffic starts to come to you. And that's how Andy said, what'd you say, 7 million since the first of the year? And every freaking one of those prospects called him. He didn't chase anybody. And because they consumed so much of his content, they know, like, and trust him. And that phone call goes like this. Oh my gosh, Andy, I can't believe you answered the phone. Man, it's good to meet you. I've been watching your video for weeks. We absolutely love you. In fact, we think we could be beer drinking buddies. Or, my wife and I are thinking about buying a home, and we're coming to town in 3 weeks, and we want you to be our agent. We like what you stand for. And you can't communicate the things that give people that opinion in 1 minute or even 2 minutes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
The other thing about doing long form video, the benefit to it is if you make these long form videos, then at a later date, there are programs out there like opus.pro that you can actually take that long form video, put it in there, and have it cut that long form video into shorts. I do it all the time. And then I take those shorts and I put them on, I'm managing 4 different YouTube channels, but So like for our agent attraction channel, we do use shorts, so I take those long form videos, cut them into shorts, do those, use them for promos, and I use them to actually basically advertise to the long form video, if you will, without paying for advertisement. But so, you can repurpose a long form video, but you can't ever take that short video and turn it into a long form video. But you can go the opposite direction. So that's another reason to do them all long form.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was going to blow it up.
Good. Really good. Dan, how are you?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, team. How you guys doing?
Hey, Dan.
It's good to see you. Dan's in the middle
Good,
of
good.
Fast Cap, and how's that
Just
going?
completed it.
Oh, you just
I
completed
completed
it?
it last week.
Oh, good for you. There you go.
And then I signed up for the April 29th class because I missed that first few days because I was on that wait list.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back through it starting on the 29th. I think it's a great class, great experience.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you yesterday, Jeff, I did my CE training yesterday in Livonia, got to meet some of the people from Michigan that live on the east side of the state. So that was really good for me. Got to meet Nick Capola. He's a managing broker over here in Michigan.
Okay.
I met another guy named Chris Parker. I threw your name out there because he was asking who represented me. He's like, I haven't heard of him. I'm like, how do you not hear of Jeff Morrell? He's like the god of EXP.
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Yes.
And then Jeff, I'll have to get with you because I'm still trying to get the Facebook ads tied up. There's a miscommunication with everything. And Andy, I know you sent me some things to get going on, so I have to do a circle back with you. I've got something to work on. I've got that listing I have. The sellers want to try the multi-offer, and so if anybody knows anything about the multi-offer and how good of a platform that is, they really want to get out of this house. They don't want to wait for that specific buyer.
Oh, you're talking about multiple offers AI. Jeff can hook you up with that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk. I'll call you today. Are you around today, Dan?
Yeah, I am.
I'll give you a call later today. I'm kind of booked up here until about 12:30 my time. Back-to-back stuff, but I'll call you this afternoon, and we'll.
So that's what, 5:30?
12:30? No. 12:30.
That's 3:30.
Yeah, I don't know.
3:30 my time.
2 hour difference. 2 hour. 1 hour.
Okay,
2 hour. Yeah, I'll call you.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just make sure I block myself off.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you. We'll get that stuff figured out. So cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I know. Ryan Fay, he's new with us. He's up in Minnesota. He just texted me yesterday. He got a seller lead. I think he's got an appointment to go on a listing appointment through realty.com from FastCap. So he was excited about that one. So
I get daily leads. It just none of them converted into any listings yet. It's like one of the things you learn about FastCap and what I've learned is, most of these leads are sellers. And so it's like, it could be, they're just starting out the process. So I'm just doing my due diligence and following up with them. I'm giving them a week, then I'm touching back with them. I'm just going to try to build a nurture and try to get, a listing out of one of these. But yeah, it's a for legit thing. You get leads from that course.
You'll get a whole mix.
You gotta be quick though.
Yeah, you'll get a whole mixed bag, I'm sure. But again, to get those coming in for free for 12 months, like, I don't know, you'll pick up some stuff there,
Yeah.
You pick up a couple, 2-3 deals for the year out of that. I mean, I'll take it, so.
Exactly. I mean, it's just a great way for someone who's trying to build their database of clients and just to get their feet going. The only caveat to that, like I said, you have to be on it. I literally have my phone open on that app because as soon as you get it, you have to hit that button. Very seldom have I've got it where I've waited more than a minute.
Right.
So is it a year that you get the referrals?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm in the class from 4/1, dated that we started on the 1st.
Yes. Now,
So
I will tell you this though. This is a great tip for you to know. When you do that, if you're not getting any leads, and you'll get them all the time.
I've gotten 5 so far.
Okay, check your service area. And that's one thing I did. I just had Pawpaw. It's a little small town I live in. And I wasn't getting anything. They're like, hey, check your service area. So I blew to a 40-mile radius of my home. And so that's just maybe the one reason why. So whatever your radius that you want to work, whether it's a 50-mile radius, 100-mile radius, that just gives you more leads. It's just how big of an area you want to try to work.
Okay.
I put the link in the chat for the next FastCap class. Starts 2 weeks from today, the 29th of April. So, David, if we get you over here, if your license comes through and we get you over here in time, that'd be a great class for you to plug in on, if you can work that. So we'll see what happens. They'll probably have two more coming. Most likely they're doing seems like about 2 a month typically starting. They'll probably do another nighttime class, I think, coming up here as well. They've been doing those. So,
and if anybody doesn't know what FastCap is, it's a 6-week coaching and accountability program that meets 3 times a week for an hour, and then you have homework every day. And Dan, you could speak to this, but I've heard, it could be 2-3 hours of homework every day, but it teaches you all the things that real estate school never taught you to do, to how to prospect and how to go out and shoot videos and preview properties, et cetera, et cetera. And you get leads while you're in the program. And if you graduate, meaning you did all the homework and you attended, you can only miss one, I think, out of the 18 classes. But if you graduate, then you can get realty.com leads for the next 12 months at no cost. And then you can subscribe to it beyond that if you like what it's delivering for you. But I've heard nothing but great things about it. They've really improved it. If you went in 2.5 years ago when it started, it's completely different than what it was then. And even old farts like myself and Cheryl, I mean, we could stand to go in there and get some good habits built again that we've probably forgotten or just been lazy.
Yeah. Geared towards newer agents, but open to
I just completed it because I wanted to see how it was, and so that I could talk more about it. It really, I would say it's really just those 3 hours a week that you're committed to, because the rest of the time you're just working on your business. So you've got, so for me, it was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday for an hour that you'd be on the class. The rest of the time, it's just, here are things to do in your business.
Yeah, do what you should be doing anyway.
Right. Yeah. So it wasn't like, oh, you have to do this, or you have to, it was, hey, here are all the things you can do to get more business. If you go out and do these things, you'll get more business. And so it wasn't like, oh, you have to do this for the class. It was more of just, here are things you can do. Here's, Sisu that can help you track everything you're doing. Be tracking basically just what you're doing in order to, have more clients, staying in touch with clients, getting leads, making phone calls, all of those things. So it really, I didn't feel like it was a huge time commitment, but it is definitely something where I didn't want to miss any of those classes because they were excellent. And the instructors they have, they've got it really well down. They're giving it from different perspectives, but it all reinforces everything that we're doing here at Freedom Team as well. So it really is just something where you're getting it from a lot of different voices and a lot of different angles, but it's all very positive, and all it's going to do is just make your business better and more repeatable.
One thing I'll throw out, and then Dan will come over to you. It's geared towards newer agents, but we've had agents. I think Michael Higdon went through it. We've had agents that have been around for 20, 25 years go through that program and just had rave reviews over it. Like, wow, it brought me back to a lot of things that I'd gotten away from. All the bad habits I created over the years. It kind of brought me back to some of the basic things, that I just needed, and I know, so we've heard great things from people that have been, in business for a long time. Frank, for you, just something to consider. I know you've been in business for 30 plus years, but it might be something to look at. Again, you're going to get free leads while you're in the class. So even if you just do what Caleb did, Caleb, how long you've been around for 6-7 years or so now, as far as real estate?
This is my 7th year.
Yeah, and icon agent with EXP, like doing a lot of stuff. It's not like you needed more training necessarily, but you can't hurt from it either, and to go in there and get those leads 3 hours a week, and again, just you're still working on your business, just like you said, around that. So
yeah, well, and if how can basically my thought is I can always learn from somebody, whether they're new to the business or they've been in it forever. People are doing amazing things, and things are always changing in real estate as far as how we can find clients and how we can nurture clients. And So, I went into it just really open-minded. I'm going to listen, and and there was just so much that, the other aspect of it was just, and they speak to it in there, which is really helpful of just, here is a ton of stuff that you can do. Pick out the things that you want to do and that are going to work for you, and build your business around that, and then be successful. Because everybody that is being successful in real estate is doing it their way, but you can go and find all these amazing ways to do that. So that's what I love about real estate, and they do a really excellent job of giving you not just instruction, but they give you all the tools, and they literally give you everything they're doing, and just say, here, copy this if you want. Here's everything that I'm doing. And they're bringing in top agents just to, they'll speak. So you have your two instructors that are regular, and then they have guest ones too. And and they're not all, some are at the EXP, some are just own companies that help real estate agents out. So the owner of Fellow, they had him come in for a day, and he just talked through, and he wasn't trying to sell his company. He literally said, if you're doing it this way, then you don't need Fellow, do it this other way. But it really just gives a lot of great perspective, a lot of great ideas, and it gives you all the structure that you need. You just have to do the work.
Right. Cool. And let's not forget the average graduate out of the class comes out of it with 3.8 transactions. And the above average graduates are coming out with like twice that. So you're going to do business while you're in there for that 6 weeks. Yeah. That's extra business you may not have otherwise.
Yeah. Well, and they also encourage you to have people that you're running with during it. So you're meeting agents from all over the country. People are sharing stuff. You're getting, contacts there, but then people are sharing, hey, I've got a referral. Who wants it? So there's a lot of that as well, of just collaboration and a lot of great stuff.
Yeah. Really good stuff. So the link is in the chat if anybody wants to register. It will fill up. They always fill up. They have a wait list. You can get on the wait list once it fills up. Whoever doesn't show up on the first one, they open up the wait list, to those people then. So whoever they can. But there's limits as to how many people they can put in there. But yeah, good class. Andy, you unmuted yourself. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I jumped in late. You were talking, somebody mentioned something about Texas. My son Brandon, he's ready to join EXP, but he's in Dallas, Texas. So could you drop a name in there that maybe a big team in Dallas area he could join?
Cher, where are you at? You're on a team down there, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Are you in Dallas?
I'm west of Dallas, but the team I'm on, they're out of they've got a few agents that actually a part of that team are in Richardson and Dallas.
Okay. Well, my son lives in Richardson. That worked out great.
Okay.
Maybe you guys can connect and
yeah, I'd be
get
glad
some
to.
information on it,
Mm-hmm.
Andy, you want to share? I don't know if you want to just share your number or whatever, or how you guys want to work it. You guys can connect with each other though. Get some info, pass it on to your son.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Very
Sounds
cool.
good.
Dan, you got your hand raised.
I do. I just want to echo what Tim and Caleb were talking about as far as fast cap. A couple of caveats on that. Tim, when it goes work, there is extra work, and Jeff, you alluded to this for the newer agents or agents who didn't get the experience at a agency.
Sure.
There is more work to do it, and maybe that's why I put a little bit more time in it. But from my perspective, you do gain on how to structure your business day. It holds you accountable, whether it's in the morning, whether it's, afternoon, it helps you structure your day. And not to mention the knowledge that comes out of that is immense. Also, you guys were talking about referrals. I sent a referral down to somebody in Texas as well, if they're looking for a home. So it's opened up more referral system for me, and you get that going through the hub. So if you're not utilizing that hub for that referral network, I go on it daily just looking for if somebody's looking for something here in Michigan. So it's just another conduit to generate listings, sellers, buyers, clients. It's another tool that for us people who are trying to build, it's another tool that's out there. And so the newer people are on now, utilize that. It's a great way to do it. It's a daily check I do. Like, hey, I'm going to hop on, check the hub, check the referrals. Now it's a part of my day. So it's just another great tip. So
it's good.
Yeah, thanks for that. I want to come back to something Dan said earlier too. You were talking about going to CE in East Michigan, and apparently that's not where you are, and that is huge. I mean, a lot of us are or want to knock that stuff out as fast as possible. We go to the CE shop, and I do that most of the time because I'm licensed in 3 states, and I can go into CE shop, and they say, well, this course has a certificate for all 3 states, so I can do it in less time. But something I would strongly advise, and I used to do this every year, is go take your CE 1.5+ hours away from your city in your same state and network with the other students in that room, and you will get referrals moving to your city from your city with those other people. I went to Madison, Indiana. I'm licensed in Indiana, Kentucky, and Alabama. I went to Madison, Indiana, which is an hour and a half from Louisville, for a CE class 5 or 6. No, it was actually, I was still owning a Remax then. It was probably 9 or 10 years ago. I met a broker owner of a Coldwell Banker franchise who was in that class. He has sent me close to 20 referrals. I can count on him for 2, 3, 4 a year. I got one yesterday for a $300,000 listing. So I'm going to try to knock that out when I fly back to Louisville tomorrow night too, while I'm in for the weekend. But my point is, people in your state won't drive an hour and a half, 2 hours for a listing, but they will definitely refer that to you. It's just a great way to meet people and network and knock your CE out and get a lot of long-term relationships built for referrals in the future.
That's good. That's excellent.
Yeah, Dan saying he was 150 miles from home for that CE. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can go do it as much as 90. I don't. Most people won't drive an hour and a half to list a house. Some will, and if you're newer, you should drive an hour and a half to list a house, as long as you have the skills to work that area appropriately for your client. But it's a great way.
Definitely.
And Tim, I'm going to piggyback on that because that's something that I learned, and you just hit the nail on the head. You have to know the area. I lost a listing prior to joining you guys because it was for a lake house on a lake I didn't hear about. I did some research, but I didn't have enough research on that lake specifically, and that's why they chose a different agent over me.
Yep.
And I did ask the question, hey, why? And so it's imperative if you go to an area like you were speaking of and you're not familiar, just get the knowledge of that area.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and as a piggyback to that as well, more detail on the one yesterday. The guy that referred it to me said, yeah, his parents are trying to force him to go with agent X, I'll call it, because he's an EXP agent and he's an Indiana and Kentucky agent. It's important to know your competition. So I went into our MLS and I looked up Agent X, and part of my conversation is going to be, yeah, he's a great guy. You couldn't go wrong with him or me. However, he listed and sold 32 homes in the last 12 months, and only 2 of them were in Kentucky. The rest were in Indiana. So I'm your better pick for Kentucky, and he's probably the better pick for Indiana, just because of knowledge of the market and more transaction, more experience, et cetera, et cetera. So you can have those factual. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I'm not going to break any NAR rules, but I'm going to show him the facts. Here's the MLS printout. Here's the 32 sales he did, and every single one of them but 2 were in Indiana, and this property's in Kentucky. And when you have a border state, we're just across the river from one another, but stuff like that matters because he's an awesome agent, has a great reputation. But so my point is, know your competition and then use that to your advantage when you go on those listing appointments.
Good. Really good. Jennifer, how many open houses are you doing this weekend?
Better be more than 8. You were a slacker last weekend.
I'm not doing any.
Taking the weekend off.
No, I'm doing the home expo.
Oh, the home expo.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, there you go.
So
Nice.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I have a booth at a home expo here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So I will be hoarse by the time Sunday night ends. It's my goal anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. Let us know how that goes.
But I think a
Where
lot of my
comfortable
local
shoes.
agents are pretty disappointed though, because I've had like 4 of them reach out. It's like, hey, would you like to take some open houses? And I'm like, ugh, sorry.
Make sure you wear comfortable shoes coming from the trade show guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you gave me some great information. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Very cool. So, all right. I'm going to duck out. I got a call here at 10 o'clock my time. So,
yep. We just got another minute or two. Anybody else have a question before we wrap up?
Yeah, Tim, I had a question. How did you find out the info for 2 different states on his production?
Well, he advertises all of his properties in our Flex MLS on the Kentucky side of the river. So I saw all of his Kentucky and all of his Indiana in one spot. I could have gone to Syra and done the same thing on the Indiana side, but because I know his procedure is to list everything he lists in both MLSs, that data is accurate. So I just went in and looked up the listing agent or co-listing agent ID in Flex, and it showed me everything he did for the last 12 months. And I looked at closed listings. So these were active or homes he listed and sold. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about current actives or anything like that. But